What's up everyone? This episode is brought to you by Pavel Skateboards. Pavel are handmade by Donald over in Germany since 1983. He makes some of these rocket ship boards for the best slalom skateboarders in the world. If you'd like to get your hands on one, check out pavelskates.com. And keep an eye out for Gustavs Pro model.
Damn, you get around, you travel, you compete. It's really good. I love that you're going in the downhill events too if the opportunity arises.
Yes. So of course my priority, of course, is slalom skateboarding.
Yeah.
But is there a chance like Puerto Rico? It's like I did both, of course, and the skate games as well. It was in Italy. Yeah,
so I've done my research. You're a downhill skater too. You used to do it a lot more. Did you have that cruiser longboard transition? I know slalom was the first, so did you just find down here through slalom? Did you have that longboarding stage, or what's the go?
Well, how much hours we have? So the history is rather simple. It's all thanks to slalom, of course, because I knew that downhill exists, but of course I read Concrete Wave, watched you.
Yeah, was Latvia getting Concrete Wave?
Of course. I just ordered the term from the same. There was the same name, concretewave.de, German web shop. But they were all cool. They had the same. They shared the same name, so I ordered the magazine from them. And it's actually I started doing downhill more thanks to slalom guys. Yeah. Actually, Dominik Kowalski, he's German guy, world champion 2008. And Ramon Königshausen, Swiss guy who's been in Australia. He's Maryhill winner as well. Yep. And it was 2010. We had the World Championships. First time, Joe McLaren came over to Europe. And two top guys, Europeans back in the day. One of the top guys, Dominic and Ramon, they didn't show up. I was like, oh, why? And when I asked them, he said, oh, yeah, we had the World Cup in race in Teolo, Italy, because they did downhill as well back in the day. So I kind of thought, I need to investigate. What is it? So at least try it. Because I've seen it. Of course, we had some mini downhill runs back at home, back in the day, but no events, no stuff like that. So in 2011, I went to Teolo, Italy. Okay. And that year I was already, I went to Ramon's place in Switzerland. He was so kind, to take me with them, with their a lot of big names there, of course, as usual. I don't know, probably a lot of guys who have done Euro Tour back in the day remember Ramon's place. And ended up going to Teolo, Italy, met there Patrick Switzer. I was fullback team rider. So he just came to me. He said, I have this my spare board. And Miguel Marco.
Was it in the lease?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, without the graphics. So it's rather cool thing. So I got that board. Borrowed leathers from Pascal Weber, Swiss guy. Then Ramon gave his GOG Precision trucks. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, ABEC 11 wheels back in the day. Big Zigs,
of
classic
course.
10. So I did my runs, and I went to Teolo. It was literally life changing for me, and that's the reason how I started to host events in Latvia as well. So I went there to again small town, but then again they managed to resurface it only 10 days before. So it was in the Italian heat, of course, again 35 degrees probably, and it was a bit oily, a bit slippery, so it was a bit of a challenge. But all the big names were there, and it was great experience. I ended up qualifying, I think. They had a cut of top 64. I ended up being 62nd from 95. Yeah. So, of course, made to the heats. And I just did one heat, was third in my heat, ended up being 45th or 47th in the final standings. So literally in half of the 95. And, I got hooked. Literally went back home and just talked with our slalom guys. Some of the guys, hey, I want to host a downhill event. Who wants to do it with me? Yep. It's super great. Here's my feedback from Italy. Of course, it's going to be way smaller in all the ways, but then again, I want to do it in Italy. And those 2 minutes that we had the top 16, the first round heat that I did, those 2 minutes, those emotions that I felt, all the excitement, I just wanted to share it with others. So I went back home, started to do so-called Latvian downhill longboarding series.
Okay.
And so pre-COVID times we did on average 4 events per year.
Right.
And now it's 2 and 3, but in total there has been 43 events since
That's
2011.
incredible.
Yeah, so it's usually we do them in biathlon complexes because Latvia is rather flat. But as we have wintertime, we have not alpine skiing, we have cross-country skiing and also biathlon thing when you just ski around and shoot during wintertime.
Yeah.
And during summer, those hills are, with asphalt. So-called hills. So, it's a bit easier to get permissions to close them for event because it's not like public road. And, so that's how I started host events, thanks to, in a way, of course, Patrick Switzer, Dominik Kowalski, Ramon Koningshausen, those guys. We all think that all have like slalom background in the end of the day.
Dude, like, thank you for. We know you're so good at slalom. We know you put on slalom events and training sessions and whatnot, but 43 downhill events, I haven't done that. I don't really know anyone that has. And I feel like, the people in Latvia that have been blessed to have you provide that for them, I hope they're thankful for it.
Yeah, I hope they are. No, main thing, I hope they're happy because I know a lot of friendships have like blossomed in those events, even relationships. So I'm very happy. And so Teolo was 2011. So 2012 with two Latvians, Kaspars Belamovskis and Ars Muitniks, we went to Hot Hills, Africa, South Africa.
That's where Milo's from.
Yeah, so I didn't met. Probably he wasn't born back in the day, right?
Probably not, to be honest. But he, so Hot Hills Africa, that used to be an IGSA race. I used to hear rumors that like there'd be full monkeys near the track and everything.
Yeah, there were baboons and stuff. Yeah, we saw them from distance, but in the videos you can see them in the years before. And
do you remember the big crash that was there on film? That crazy crash. I don't know if I could find it.
I think it was year after.
Year after. Okay.
13.
What was your experience at Hot Hills like?
Great. Again, people are amazing. It's the first time in Africa, of course, and we stayed again with the organizers to cut some expenses. But it was.
Who did you stay with?
It's Candice Bower.
Okay.
Bowen. I don't want to butcher her name. And Gary Roberts. And then there were a bit bigger crew of the organizers. Richard Veza, he was the local superstar, of course, and all the locals are super friendly to us. And of course, it was the Teolo 2011 was IGSA.
Yeah.
Hot Hills Africa 2012 was, I think, already IDF, if I'm correct, or the last IGSA event. Regardless, it was the final battle end of the year between Patrick Switzer and Lua, who was going to take the title. I was there. I was in the Lloyd's left, and Baboon Bend. Yeah, those are the corners. And this was the semi-final. Switzer was right behind the Lua. So it was the Lua's to lose. Let's say that. So Patrick Switzer, unfortunately ended up crashing out. The Lua won event. Who had second that time? Trying to remember. Kyle Wester, of course. So Adam Persson, Sweden third. So big names there.
Yeah.
And it was again great times.
One of the most beautiful things about downhill skateboarding or slalom too is being able to travel and being able to experience different cultures. And I'm blessed to have been to some places. I haven't been to South Africa, but being so close with Milo and knowing like Isaac and hearing so much about South Africa, it's just like that's one place I definitely need to go just because I've heard so much about it. What was it like as a country? What were the people like? Did you get to travel? What was the food like? What can you remember from then?
Well, again, the main thing, they're all super friendly and had a great time. I tried crocodile actually first time there.
Ah, right.
But so it's different kind of crocodile probably.
Yeah.
But we ate also the big five so-called animals that it's possible to eat there. But what so special about South Africa? Trying to remember all the good things. Of course, we're laughing that things in South Africa are coming in like all the trends like few years after. And we are feeling the same because of the history of Latvia being like a post-Soviet country. And unfortunately, like just a random comparison, like... can just compare so-called, trying to remember the name. Anyways, I don't know. But I would want to say that we are a bit similar as them in a way that actually we're sharing the same time zone. That's a really funny thing. You travel 4 hours. We just traveled from Latvia to Frankfurt, Germany, then to London, UK, then all the way to Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah.
And it was long trip. You ended up being in the same time zone. That's funny stuff. And it's technically the south of the African continent. So it was really great times. Again, different culture, different mindset, but great times.
So Cholo, you competed in downhill. Hot Hills, you competed in the IGSA. It's a long way from Latvia. Somewhere a bit closer that I know you've competed in the downhill skateboarding. And if any downhill skateboarders are still watching, like He's got some history, this dude.
Yeah.
Kozakov Challenge.
Yeah,
What year?
2013, year
Wow.
after. So yeah, pretty much one event per year, the big one. And yeah, of course, ended up being, I don't know, position 100 from 130. And I was traveling with, again, 2 more Latvians that were participating, Jānis Jurgens and Aris Muitineks. So
Okay.
yeah, great guys. And so I wasn't the only competitor from Latvia. And yeah, it was, again, next level event because, of course, Tiolo, there isn't much sliding and stuff like that happening. Hot Heels is also like all grip course.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're in Kozakov, and guys are going 100k per hour, like street losers.
You
are
said
foot braking.
2013.
2013, yeah.
So
correct.
were you were foot braking, right?
Well, I have footage of me sliding as well, but yeah, ended up during the quali heats, I ended up being in Group B. Yeah, I ended up just foot braking just to be sure, back in
Right.
the day. And as I said, I didn't have like experience of such high speeds. And foot braking, I kind of had this mindset that I can still control it a bit better. But of course,
That was working at the time.
yeah,
you know
it
what I
was a
mean?
mixture. Yeah, it was like 2012, 13. Well, probably guys can correct me, but it was pretty much the time when it was like switching between the two. And you, of course, remember like Martin Ziegrist, the Swiss legend. And yeah, he did mainly foot braking. And it was, always nice to see those like in same heat, like people that were sliding and foot braking and how they end up not colliding.
Do you remember who won that year?
Zach Matum, yeah.
Wow. Do you remember was there a women's division?
Of course.
Do you know who won that?
Might be wrong, but yeah, I'll say I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. KNK
Yes.
in Slovenia, one of the best events ever. You got to get to
2015,
KNK.
yes. Because 2014, I was looking forward to go to Maryhill, Festival of Speed,
Right.
and even, paid the entry fee. But at one of our local events, ended up crashing at the finish line. Actually, won the event, but still ended up crashing. And I broke my foot. So had to cancel those plans. So 2015, went to KNK. Yeah, it was,
How was
again,
that?
way different kind of event, of course, as you know.
Right.
Huge thing. And
Big free ride.
yeah, big free ride, probably the biggest one and the longest running as well. So many people, so many different kind of styles, different levels, which is great. Of course, there's the stand-up guys doing their stand-up event. Then again, there were guys who probably started skateboarding maybe 2 weeks ago. So it was super nice. And then again, the evening part is always something just like Kozakov. You can feel the vibes are there, and I really like to see it. It's like became like super big event. Yeah.
Dude, you've done more downhill events than a lot of really, really good downhill skaters. You've got so much history. I know you've also attended the bucolic freeride back in the day.
Oh yeah, it was one of the years before COVID years. I was during winter time. I was managing a ski and snowboard rental shop in French Alps.
Yeah.
Well, nearby Albertville, actually, like not literally in the Alps, the resorts themselves, but down there.
Yeah.
So I had a day off. There was bucolic freeride in Switzerland. So decided, okay, just gonna go there. So it's like just trying to pick up all the possibilities. Of course, if it's nearby, why not? Yeah.
That's it. Any other downhill events I missed out? Obviously, you got your Latvian downhill events.
Yeah.
Any other big ones you've hit up?
Well, I guess in short, probably it. Yeah, we thought about roller games and skate games. Then, of course, there's different kind of skateboarding that I have done, like going down the bobsled track.
Dude, I've got it on my notes here because it's something that we really need to talk about. I've got friends that have done some crazy stuff. Top speeds, gnarly hills, crazy destinations, switch runs, no gloves. I don't know anybody else that has skated down a bobsled track.
Well, bobsled track, again, it's all connected with being in north of Europe because there are 14, 16, it depends how you count, like active bobsled tracks in the world in general. And now they're trying to limit the numbers now the Winter Olympics is going to be in Italy. They won the event and they're rebuilding their bobsled track. But it is all gone and pretty much, impossible to use it. Now they're trying to rebuild it till the Olympics. But actually Sweden also was participating as a candidate city and to host Olympics, Stockholm, and Sweden as a country. So if they would have won, just to save on expenses, they would host bobsled, luge, skeleton in Latvia.
Right.
Because it's nearby and just because building a bobsled track, it doesn't cost 1 or 2 million. It's in, I don't know, it was like 30, 40. I might be wrong, but it's in big numbers. So just for the event, it doesn't make sense. So we have it from the mid 80s, 86 it was built, if I'm correct. And long story short, there was the skeleton, Latvian national skeleton teams, one of the youth coaches during winter time. During summertime, they decided to do something super fun. And they decided to come up with this kind of thing. because there were events like that before. I remember it was in Germany when the course Altenberg, and in La Plagne, France, and after that in Sochi, Russia as well. And so yeah, they just asked me, I want to try it. I tried it. A few other guys tried it. It was a bit of a challenge, of course. Inline skaters did it as well. We had the Rollerman, the famous French guy who's traveling around the world. And being part of the event, he came over as well. So it was definitely a different kind of thing.
But bruh, like you're not starting at the top and dropping in and hooking every turn. How did you even skate down this? Because like I've seen bobsled tracks in the Winter Olympics. That's my exposure to it. When you told me before you showed me, I was just thinking you're off your head, bruh. How do you skate something like a bobsled track? Are you leathered up?
Sorry?
Leathers?
Yeah, leathers,
full face,
of course. Yeah,
pads, everything.
Yeah, of course. Because of course I crashed a lot as well.
So how did you start at the bottom and work your way up, or what's the go?
Yeah, pretty much. I was lucky because I was the local, so I could we had some like official practice sessions the week before, so I could just arrive there and try it out. Started from the bottom, went up, and so yeah, it's a different kind of experience because it's not about the speed. I'm not sure if I remember correct. Top speed might be around 60 or something. Of course, the luge guys in winter bobsled they're doing 100 plus, but they're like
you're standing up. Are you tucking?
Yeah.
Bruh.
So yeah, I'm tucking, but then again, I'm tall as you know, so 6'5", I guess. So yeah, 1 meter 95. And yeah, I had a GoPro on my head, so some moments I was a bit scared that they're gonna just cut my head off because the bobsled track, it's in some places is like all closed, like a tube, of course, that you're going in, and you're like leaning and turning pretty much every few seconds, and you can't like foot brake or air brake because it's just like closed. There's no wind like going around, so it was a bit hectic. Plus, of course, during the main thing for them is, of course, it's winter. Yeah. Summer, they have like the so-called summer bobs with like wheels and stuff, and for tourists. But there were like huge gaps every like I don't know maybe 20 meters that were almost 2 times bigger than the wheel. Just of course with the speed you just go over it. You feel like just small click. You're not like losing balance with that. But it was different kind of thing. It was 2015-16. So back like it was like 10 years ago. I was like 25 back in the day. So it was a bit more wasn't that scared, but probably won't do it again if there was a possibility because
I don't want you to do it again.
Yeah, because they unfortunately canceled the last year because there were just a bit too much injuries and
you said you crashed a fair bit and understandably so. Did you get hurt?
I mean, yes, a little bit.
What's it like, bro? You're tucking, you're going down the straight sections and there's a curve. Are you staying at the bottom of that curve? Or?
No, you're going up, in a course, like
Nah.
So
I don't even want to try it. I don't want to try one corner. That's crazy, bro.
But there were actually Latvians who tried it, but some just literally tried just one corner or 2 corners, understood that, it's like different kind of physics there, and it's rather dangerous. So
I could confidently say a lot of the top, no disrespect at all, a lot of the top dudes in downhill, I don't even think they try it. I don't know. If you would, let me know. But I got a couple of things I wanted to touch on in your downhill or your bigger board. What I think is so sick is the second picture on the cover photo of your Facebook is you doing a fat standy in a leather suit. Tell us about that.
Well, of course, the scene in Latvia is...
You didn't want to talk about this. I said we have to because it's so sick.
Just a small standy. Like, it's nothing that big.
Dude,
like
it's a photo. You can tell.
10-year-old picture,
It's like 100-meter slide.
No, it's not. He's Australian. He likes to exaggerate.
Come on.
Probably like 5 meters or something. But no, it's like, of course, back in the day, we're seeing all the big guys doing cool stuff. We're trying to also learn some slides, learn some standees.
Yeah.
But there was like, of course, newer generation after me. I can just name few names like Gustavs Gailitis, Martin Škilinieks, Karls Karlssons, Alus Beyons, a lot of like young and up and coming guys that were like fearless, that did huge standees, that have traveled also to Kosovo Cup Challenge, even to New Zealand just to skate as well. So it is like nice to see that partly maybe I kind of influenced them to start to do downhill and also to travel a bit. Yeah. So, and they also became good buddies. So it's, that kind of influence. And of course I host those events and it's nice to see that there are people coming over. We try to make it as interesting as possible. Right. So for example, in our downhill events, we had this cool exception when we do additional disciplines like slide jump, slalom, and also skate and shoot, which is...
Dude, talk about skate and shoot, because you told me this. I'm from Australia. We got rid of guns after a catastrophe in the 90s or whatever. What is skate and shoot, bruh?
As you said it, you skate and you shoot. So it's quite simple. As I said, I started doing downhill events in 2011.
Yep.
We started to visit like biathlon complexes for slalom events 2009. So of course we saw the shooting range. We kind of were joking, oh, we should do like biathlon, just ski and shoot. We should skate and shoot as a joke.
Right.
Year later, we saw Whistler Longboard Festival.
Yeah.
The big, amazing world-class event. And they had, of course, downhill, plus push race, plus skate and shoot as well.
Yeah.
So literally the same thing that we were like kind of jokingly thinking about doing it. They literally did it.
Okay.
So the year after 2013, we started to do it like every year. So it's like just like 1 kilometer push. You go up and down, a bit downhill, a bit pushing. You enter a shooting range.
Okay.
And you just shoot. You aim and you shoot, yeah. And there's, of course, like a shooting coach that explains what to do, and you can try it before the event. Of course, before it's all simple because you're calm and everything. But when you push, you're going for a result. Your pulse is going around, so you can probably shoot some birds as well. But yeah, it's a like fun additional event. But I know that people are literally looking forward to it and just to
gnarly.
So
gnarly,
skate
bro.
and shoot.
Do they still happen?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna host it this year again in mid-June. Yeah.
And let's talk about skating in the snow, because you showed me a video, I think it was last night, and I'm just like, bruh, come on, you're too gnarly.
Well, it's again North Europe. We just literally really wanted to skate. It was all like wet and patchy, and we kind of had this idea to go to the biathlon complex anyways.
Yeah,
they didn't have any web cameras like showing the live stream what's happening there, so we still went for it. It took like 2 hours from the capital city. And yeah, as we got closer and closer, we understood, it started to snow, but we're already halfway there. So we ended up going there. It was super fun. Just literally going in the snow with a full bag of leash, some like wannabe homemade rain wheels, but still it was, so fun.
Kids camps. Let's talk about the kids camps you do. I mentioned earlier in your accolades, I've touched on it a few times. You're the organizer of 43 downhill events. I'm going to just match that number with the slalom events that you've put on. Could be more, could be less. But you do kids camps. You tick in every box for someone, a great ambassador, not only for slalom, but downhill. Like, let's talk about the kids camps. What made you want to do them? How often do you do them? What's the go?
Well, the first one was back in 2010, I think. Just it was like my idea that I want to give back something to the sport that has gave so many great emotions to me, and of course, teach this thing to kids, to youth, to the future, to the groms, and did it 2010. Then did it for a few years. Then restarted doing it, and so it's during summertime. It's like 5 days camp, 9 to 5, with lunch and some snacks included. Rest of the things that we do, we go to pond tracks, we learn how to foot brake, just stand on the board, some slalom, some other stuff. Okay, day or two, we just go for some excursion, just some, visiting zoo or something. So it's not just skateboarding, of course, because for kids, they're usually ages of like 7, 8 to like 14. So they're rather young, of course. It's if you skate all day, even we get super tired.
Right.
So we kind of try to make it fun. Then again, it's not just like, playing with ball or something. We just skate as well, so you can literally see everyday progress. Yeah. And if they want and they like it, they can continue just to. Like,
so they multi-day camps? Or
just 5 day camp. Monday, Friday. Yeah. Several times.
And once a year.
We try to do it every summer month. So June, July, August. Normally 3 camps. Yeah. So recent years I have done it with my sister Dominica. Previously with my other sisters as well. So it's usually like 8, 10, 12 kids, so it's not like a big bunch.
Yeah.
So we can also spend time and help each kid, because if it's large
too
group,
many people. Yeah.
So because one year actually we had this kind of thing. It was like in collaboration with some youth organization and city council as well. It was like literally 20 people, and we had just like 7 boards, and they were a bit younger than I mentioned. So it was a bit hard, and especially if it's like, it's a bunch of people, you can't help anyone, you can't like be everywhere. And also the safety aspect is there because, those are skateboards. You can fall, you will fall. So you need make sure that everyone still has their pads on, their helmets on, everything's good. They're safe, they're happy, they're smiling. And it takes a lot of energy, as you know, working with kids every day, not like me, few weeks per year, but it's great. Yeah, it gives a lot of positive emotions to everyone.
There's so many things that, the glue that holds what we do together, events, media, but I feel like what you're doing, holding these camps for the young kids and giving them exposure to slalom, to soft wheels, to longboards, whatever, I feel like it's so important. And like I've raved on about your 43 downhill events, which is incredible. I don't know anyone else who's done that many. Coast longboarding is the only people I can think of.
Well,
But the kids camps, dude, thank you. Because the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Latvian scene. I asked you what your events are like, and you said, we get 30 riders. Bruh, 30 riders.
Well, yeah, for such a rather small country, of course, it's a lot. It's a lot for such individual sport. And once again, it's downhill skateboarding. You can't do it in the sea. You must go, as I mentioned, it's like usually 2-hour drive to get to our spots. And top speeds are usually like 55, maybe 60 kilometers per hour to our spots. And we have they're rather short, usually kilometer. So it's not the most challenging courses in no way. Then again, people are having fun. It's the same. We have proper timing system. We have the alpine skiing, the guy who takes timing for alpine skiing events. So it's all super professional with all the displays, and you can watch it, like follow the results, live stream, and stuff like that. And of course, we have proper 4-man heats. We have bus picking us up. We have, of course, medical stuff there, and like I try to make it. Of course, it's all super low budget in the end of the day, but it's then again, it's all official. There are proper events. We have all permissions and stuff, and people are having fun. Like usual numbers are, we have been like 48, 45 people, then sometimes around 20 only, but on average, I would say it's 30, 35. So that's for downhill. Yeah. And for our slalom events, it's the same. It's usually almost all are the same people that are doing the slalom, also doing downhill as well, especially nowadays when the equipment is the same. But small countries can do great things.
I need to get to Latvia just to experience one of these events. I'd love to get that Latvia shirt one day too, and all the people at these events can cop that and be representing over there. But other Latvians, you've mentioned names of people that have represented the World Skate Games and people that you travelled with in the early days. Slalom specifically, who's been killing it? Who are the OGs?
Like downhill wise or slalom skateboarding? Slalom. Well, there have been a bunch. So as I said, for me, the biggest influences were like Roman and Dominic, the international guys of slalom, just because all the Latvians, as I said, we had 4 to 8 events every year. So of course I meet them pretty much every second, third week.
Let's talk Latvians though.
So that's why I'm saying that like they are, again, huge influences to me, but there are like so many. And of course, the biggest names that, also internationally are Jānis Kuzmins, Toms Dreiblets, Artus Liskaus. Those are the guys that with me, we are top 6 in world ranking and also in world skate games for like several years. And of course, there are a lot of like legends, already masters age riders like Ejus Konošonoks, Gins Zomers, Armand Sausiņš. So and Martin Žvidzinieks, they were the guys who were competing internationally in the early 90s and doing good and getting podiums in international events. And there's who else? Valdis Sarmuls, he's also like in masters age rider, but he's a huge help with hosting downhill events. Right. Then there's also Ainar Chermachenko. He's also a slalom guy who did slalom. He raced became vice champion in amateur tight 2008. And then he started actually the so-called the youth club, as I said, in Liepāja, the city, 3 hours away from Riga, where Toms is coming from India, or also Marija Belta. She's like Latvian, and she became world champion in 2018. Wow. So we have a bunch of world champions. Also Līnītis Karaine, she's also a legend in Latvian skateboarding. She also was world champion. So we have in the last 15 years or something, we are a country with the most like also different world champions. It's not the same person, same for men and for women. We have 3 guys, 3 girls in the last 15 years world champions.
What about up and comers? Just name a couple names of people who they're not representing at the World Skate Games yet, but who's killing it for slalom? Who's up and coming?
Well, for guys, I'm probably gonna say the same. Gustavs Gailitis. He was at Skate Games, but he was a bit unlucky in tight slalom because unfortunately he got DQ'd. But then again in hybrid he was 10th on 11. So right there, top 8. Yeah. When you get to top 8, everything can happen there because then it goes all in the thousands. We have seen like mistakes in Skate Games as well that can happen, and the courses are fierce, so there's always tight battles. And for girls, it's probably Keita Zorgevica. She's still a junior, still a teen, but I guess she has a bright future in slalom as well.
Awesome. Have you had any big crashes? Downhill and slalom? Because there's a great photo of you face planting I'm gonna chuck that up
Yes.
here, but
Please don't.
people don't know, like downhill, guardrails, people taking you out, big corners that you just go too hard into. I don't think downhill skaters, the people that are watching this, realize how heavy the slams are in downhill skateboarding. Can you just touch on some big crashes that you may have had for slalom? And let's talk downhill too.
Well, yeah, for slalom, that's the thing, because of course we are not using leather suits. Normally we have like half shell helmets. Some people are using like gloves or pads. Some are don't. It's not a must. Helmet is the only must. So, and of course the main difference, yes, our speeds are not that high. Then again, we're turning all the time. All the time our body is not like positioned straight. So if something goes wrong, it goes wrong and you crash hard. And it's like, for example, it's something new that I saw in 2011. James Kelly, his bearing was just exploded. So that's why he crashed out in top 16, I guess, or top 32. Anyways, it's been a while. So it's something that I didn't thought about before. But after that, I was always checking all my equipment, so everything is tightened up, because of course stuff like that happen. Kingpins can break. That's something in downhill. It happens not that often as in slalom, because in slalom we are pushing it to the max, just with different kind of physics are working there. But equipment malfunctions, courses with big offsets, you're leaning in a lot. I have super tall legs, so it's something that I have some bad crashes, some broken arm as well, once, twice, and broken leg once in downhill. But otherwise,
how'd you break your leg in downhill?
Magic. Well, it was the early beginning. It was sunny day. It was, if I remember correctly, 1st of June, 2014.
You're joking,
I was literally that was the year I was planning to go to Maryhill.
Okay.
So I was there were actually the super nice Lithuanians or nearby neighboring country, super cool guys, same as Estonians, of course. So we're all together, all so-called Baltic states. And they came over. We had super great battles. It started to rain during the finals, and I was in second position. Really wanted to overtake the guy, Lukas Kirkilionis, Lithuanian legend. And I was leaning in to the finish line, just pushing my front leg a bit to the front, like some downhill guys are doing as well, like in Maryhill usually. And I took him. I took the win, but afterwards I crashed. And as I had I didn't have a proper suit back in the day. It was I borrowed from some motorcycle guys. So, and they had some extra padding, hard padding on the knee. So I crashed on my knee, but due to that extra protection, it was semi super hard plastic, metal, whatever. So I kind of twisted my leg a bit too harsh, and ended up doing operation stuff, and so I said goodbye to my miracle dream for a while. But it was fun times.
Interested to hear because I want to get onto this next, but I want to hear about your downhill setups back in the day and then now.
Well, back in the day, I kind of started, of course, mainly I did, as I said, local events. Of course, they're way smaller, slower. Then again, still downhill, still counts. And Teolo, I got full bag Gailitis, so I started to ride with full bag Gailitis in local races as well. And then ended up switching to slalom boards because I saw that all the guys internationally are starting also to do slalom boards. Although I did it Hot Heels Africa 2012 also on slalom board. It was back in the day, it was something not very popular. Then I ended up being 46th or something. Still was okay. And of course it depends on the event. For example, in bobsled track, I went with top mount, drop through, and the fastest time that I got was in Rain Demon Seed with a proper big board. So just for stability, of course, because in bobsled track you want some stability there. And recent years I usually did it with my same slalom board, slalom setup, just maybe a bit harder bushings. But of course now with the current equipment, it's pretty much all the same. You just tweak it a little bit.
And Tortoreto, you were riding the Rocket.
Right. Yeah, Rocket Rhino. Yeah, of course. I forgot about that. Yeah. That was something that I was looking forward to try it. It was good experience.
I want to hear, we touched on your full bag pro model back in the day. If people are watching, there's this absolute machine in front of us. But I just want you to touch on some of the slalom setups that you've rode over the years. Talk about the wheels that you've chosen to ride, talk about the trucks, talk about the decks. I think you mentioned you had a deck for 8 years or something like that.
Well, yeah, it was part of the fullback team. Afterwards, I switched to Caliber, which like German brand back in the day. They had some longboards as well.
Are they
And
still going?
No, unfortunately, no. For several years already, not.
Caliber
unfortunately.
with a IBRE.
K with the like Kellogg's, like K. It's not like Caliber trucks, but
Okay.
yeah, it's the first letter is different. Yeah, but Caliber. Rest of
Caliber, but with a K.
yeah, with
Okay,
K. Yeah. So yeah, different kind of company, of
Are
course.
they still going?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah.
So tell us about the boards you rode by them.
Well, it was wood with carbon all around, so it was stiff. Something that in slalom, again, it's like a downhill. You started with Landia Evos, now it's all small and packed and stiff. And slalom, it's again back in the day, it was all flexi boards and like wiggly wobbly all around. Now they're all mainly stiff, and more people are using like different kind of composite materials, like fiberglass, carbon, and yeah. So it's all rather light as well. Then again, rather durable. So. Yeah, of course, track-wise, I used to use, back in the day for downhill, first ones were GOGs. Afterwards, I got used pair of Kahalani trucks from P-Swiss.
Right.
So, yeah. And then switched to GOG narrow trucks that usually we'd use for slalom. Unfortunately, GOG or GOG or Gang of Germany, those trucks are not available for several years already. So you can find a set, and if they're in good condition, you're lucky. And of course, in most recent years, I have the Edsek set or 161 Swedish trucks that I have now on my board. I use in Tortoretto as well.
I opened up a concrete wave from like 2009 or something the other day, and there was a little write-up on 161.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's the same brand, same trucks. Now they're adjustable and more durable. And back in the day, they were on top podiums in slalom, and now again, so it's like a rebirth. Plus, of course, there's a lot of international guys, especially in Sweden, of course, as it's Swedish trucks that are racing internationally as well. With them in downhill, for example, in Turkey, you have those high speeds, still going fast.
They're a beautiful truck, and it's nice to see there's so many slalom riders riding them, but the fact that they're creeping into downhill is really sick. It'll be cool to see more people on them. It's an adjustable, tiny truck. It's so sick. Color's cool. I went back on their Instagram and saw they have some like almost like unpolished, like gray ones.
Yeah.
They look so sick. They've done like a tricolor because obviously the adjustable base plate is in 3 parts: the hanger and the base plate. And then the adjustable section, they did like a truck for Italy in the Italian colors of the flag, which is cool
looking. Yeah. So,
But yeah, what wheels were you riding?
Well, usually for slalom, we started with back in the day with their 3DM, the brand.
Yeah.
They switched to Seismics, and then of course ABEC 11. Back in the day when ABEC 11 had this huge selection of big zigzags, and all the way from 77A all the way to 89A. Which I'm still kind of sticking, although they're like, I don't know, 10, 15-year-old wheels, but they kind of still work for me. I know that nowadays people are going softer, like 75A, 78A, like soft wheels.
Right.
But I'm rather heavy guy, 95 kilograms approximately, and also with my riding style in slalom, I kind of think that works for me.
Okay.
Although, of course, equipment is not that fresh, so who knows, probably going to switch to other wheels. But wheel-wise, of course, those are Seismics that are currently available. Venoms, Cannibals or Magnums, of course, is a big thing. For Seismic, there are Seismic Deltas that are super popular in recent years. So there is a lot of variety and a lot of things we can like kind of borrow from the downhill scene as well. So it's cool that those disciplines interact a little bit as well.
So the Caliber board, any other boards?
No, it was full bag, Caliber. And then, Caliber had like guys in Sweden made like rebranded it to Madre, like similar, just shape was the same, just like a different kind of brand. And now they're also like working with like super light carbon board with Tumadra. And but I'm like switching to Pavel.
Is Tumandra the T boards?
No, that's a different brand. And T-board, it's for Robert Thiele. He's a German guy, super fun and nice guy. And you have seen several probably T-boards in Europe. Yeah. And it's a famous brand in Europe and slalom scene. They're again mainly the main component is carbon, so they're stiff, rigid, and with proper trucks and wheels, they're also fast.
Before we talk about this, just because I like geeking out on gear sometimes, obviously mentioned earlier, slalom is like my roots. I was going to slalom events. I was seeing the crazy setups people were having. Like I come from Sector 9 cruises where like a gullwing sidewinder was wacky, and then I saw like, what do you even call it? Like offset axles, where the axle from the hanger would have like a section like that long.
Right. Yeah.
What do you call that? Offset axles?
I don't know the proper word.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. I know
Anyway.
what kind of trucks you mean. Probably radicals. Yeah.
So my history with slalom skateboarding, especially from a young kid, no money, Pavels were huge. Let's talk about trucks. Gogs.
yeah, Geo Gogs. Radicals
Geo
were a bit
Gogs,
before
Radicals,
that,
Dragon's
USA.
Tail, Dragon's Talon,
Yes,
all
those
that.
Airflow skateboards had a great back truck. Trucker trucks.
Tracker trucks. I've
Classic.
got, even like last year I came up, there was a guy on Marketplace, this skateboarders group selling like all these fresh tracker trucks, Tracker RTS, RTX. Always heard about them. The S is for stable, the X is for extra turny. I think there was minor changes in the design of those two trucks, but you'd have the X and the S as a set. And then the bushings and whatnot. I remember seeing crazy things for slalom boards. I remember seeing a wine cork used as a bushing, which is crazy. There's a Australian OG downhill skater turned slalom skateboarder. He's actually the maker of the Cybertrucks, a slalom truck company made from Australia. He actually used to tinker. His name's Fitz. He used to tinker around with gear back in the day, and I remember through the Azra forums, he was looking for a set of gull wing sidewinders. Now, probably could have just ordered some online, $100, whatever. I had 3 sets because I was a Sector 9 collector. I was like, I can get rid of a set. He offered to buy them or trade me slalom gear. And shout out to Fitz, because if he didn't do the deal, I might not have been as interested in slalom skateboarding. But I'd in my early days, I'd show up to the events with my Sector 9 boards. He traded me a complete Jason Mitchell Racer X deck.
Yeah.
Tracker rear, Bennett front, wedged, de-wedged, 30 cones, and got me wiggling. After that, I moved to a much, much smaller slalom board, 4-marker bottom. It was, I don't know the name. I've spoken about them on the podcast before. It's like Chill, but with an X in between the I. It's like Chixel.
Yeah, Chixel. I don't know pronunciation,
Yeah.
but I know the brand. Yeah.
So I had a
heard about it.
really tiny board, and I reset it up a couple of years ago and tried to ride it at a slalom meetup or an event, and I was like, it's like a child's board. I got the absolute smallest one, but the gear over the years was always crazy. The trucks were crazy, bushings. People had the softest bushings. People were flipping bushings, putting cone bushings upside down. Cairo even had like hourglass bushings. But yeah, obviously being a young kid, like not earning money, Hopkins Skate. This one time I was on the Hopkins Skate website every night just looking at gear, and Hopkins actually ordered in a bunch of Pavel Roadsters with the Hopkins logo on them. And still to this day, I think that is the best slalom board I've ever rode. Shout out Nathan Paff. Shout out Shadow. Ryan Nichols. I'll talk more about them soon, but they would always lend me their boards to ride, and I feel like that OG Pavel Roadster shape was like the best shape. I would do anything for one. But let's talk Pavel. They are...
Yes, Pavel. Well, it's a rather still going on company. It started back in the day in 1983 by Donald Campbell. He's a great guy in Germany, in Düsseldorf, and yeah, he built skateboards back in the day, and also in early 2000s he started to do slalom boards.
Yep.
And also did some downhill boards. There was like Power Aggressor was one of the models, and the Dominik Kowalski that I mentioned before, he managed to get in, was in Kosovo semifinals as well with those boards. So there's a huge variety. And there have been like several world champions that were ridden Pavel boards. And of course, Paul Price Roadster Pro Model is, I would say, probably the longest running like pro model board that's going around, and due to that shape and being like all up to date back in the day and still working great in the courses. So and currently I'm with Pavel working on a pro model for this upcoming summer season.
And I think that's so exciting. They've got a stacked team. Just talking about some of the pro boards that they've had over the years, and obviously had some I guess team boards as you'd say, but Paul Price with the Pavel Roadster. I've got a Pavel board. I'm just going to get it right now. It's the Pavel website. I've spoken to you about it. hopefully there can be a bit of revamping of it to find out more of the history of paddle boards. But I did some research myself. There's pro boards for George Pappas. Is it Pierneck? What's the
Pernack? You mean? David Pernack.
David
He's
Pernack.
rider from USA. Yeah.
There's the Tiago from Brazil.
Thiago
You got the
Cardenal,
Bruno.
Bruno Oliveira. Luis Selby.
Okay.
Yeah, recently got a new model as well.
Right.
Meadow de Fort from France. And
Shout out
there's-
Meadow.
Yeah, and then a few others. Just like,
My board, I finally, after all my years of borrowing Nathan Paff's board, Shadow's board, Pix's board, at all these slalom events that I would go to, I finally got my own slalom board. I had a slalom deck, and I have to, mistakenly, I've got to shout them out. Stephen Datto, OG downhill skateboarder, he started making decks. I entered a raffle one time to win a deck, won it, got the phone call, and, young me, I answer the phone, hey, you've won, pick a deck from our lineup, and I heard that he was making a foam core slalom board. As you saw PC riding on the weekend.
yeah, right.
And so I asked for the big fancy foam core slalom board, and luckily enough he said yes. I got the slalom board, but I could never get a good truck set up. And I'd try and set it up. I'd take it to an event, but my trucks were never right, and that's how I'd end up on Nathan's boards and whatnot. So my first proper slalom board after my Chixel and my Jason Mitchell Racer X.
Yeah.
Like, great board, but slalom, like, you just want to get these like carbon, foam core rocket ships. Datto was my first, but then I was lucky in Tortoretto to meet Meadow. Shout out Meadow. Bruno and Tiago and the rest of the team. And I was lucky enough to meet Donald there, and actually finally got myself a paddle board. And I was doing some research, going back on the Facebook tag photos or something. This was like a Chris Schutz model.
Right.
Model. I don't know if it's in focus, but there's
Yes.
my model there. ZM1, shout out Zach Matum. Venom Wheels, shout out Zach Matum. I've got a little foot stop from PC, but that's my slalom board. Before we show yours, Pavel were kind enough to send over a deck for the podcast. This is Bruno's board.
Yeah, correct. Bruno Oliveira.
Crazy board. I've just gripped it. Going to set it up. You've got another board to the side of
Correct.
you,
Yeah, next to me I have...
which is for sale in Australia. You're flying out tomorrow, and you've got this one to sell. Talk
Yeah.
about that one.
This is another Brazilian superstar. He got podiums in World Championships as well a while back, and he's looking forward to repeat this thing this year that we're having the Worlds. And Thiago Cardenal, again, Brazil again, represented. Pavel Skates all the way, and yeah, proper slalom deck.
Proper, bro. I love the pointy nose. The tail is so sick. Do you know much about the construction?
Not for this one. Not for this one,
Yep.
unfortunately. But yeah,
So-
looks fast, and he's fast, and you're definitely gonna see it on podium soon.
And like, every paddle board's different.
Yeah, a bit. But it's like that's when it's not made like in a huge factory. Of course, every board has some tweaks and twists, and I know that Donald likes to experiment with materials a lot. That's something also. He's like a crazy scientist in skateboarding. He's been around for a while, and he has made so many boards, and I know that they're rather popular all around the world. Yeah, in slalom community.
So let's talk about yours, because you're still in the prototype stages. You've done Puerto Rico on this. You didn't do Brazil on this.
No.
Puerto Rico, Australia, in the box that turned up for the podcast. Your second prototype turned up.
Yes, correct.
Tell us about what went into, how much input did you have? What were you looking for? How does it perform? Let's talk about your prototype pro board, because by the time this comes out, you could be stages ahead. People are listening who might want to get a slalom board. This is a great one. I've rode it. Your board's insane. I couldn't believe how close I could get to cones and not have those big turns as usual. But talk about the board. I'll stop talking.
So yeah, well, that's the trick in slalom. You should be fast, and you should go as close to the cones as possible, and not to hit them. Otherwise, you get at the time to your result. So yeah, for my board, the main thing is that I wanted to make it like stiff. So it's carbon and light as well, because they're, of course, same as downhill. Different kind of equipments. people are ending up finishing 1.1 second, whatever, less than a second between each other. So you never know which wheels or trucks or the board, which is the main ingredient that makes the result. But for slalom, like my personal opinion is that lighter board is better. Of course, there's some limits. Probably too light is too light. There have been like super light, like foam cores, fiberglass boards that weigh, I don't know, bit over like half kilogram, bit more. But yeah, and then again, imagine like I'm a big guy, so I'm gonna put my weight on it. I can probably break it easily. So yeah, probably carbon is the way to go. That's my personal opinion. So yeah, lengthwise it's 80 centimeters, and the width, the maximum width, I think it was 20. Wheelbase options at the moment is like 55 and 58. So, but still working on it. Probably gonna do some twists and tweaks and some small improvements. Well, otherwise, yeah, looks like proper slalom machine. Yeah, as you tried it, yeah, literally it is quite narrow, and I have big feet, but due to my stance, that I'm standing with my feet a bit more sideways. Let's say that not sideways, but yeah, literally the opposite, and yeah, as angled as possible, pretty much, not to hit cones with my toes and heels. So it kind of narrow board kind of works for me, and I have ridden similar boards in back in the day. So yeah, this could be like good proper weapon for this season.
Right, it's a wonderful board. It is narrow.
Yeah.
Kicktail.
Yeah.
You just want to grab the freshie, and we can just show the freshie just as like to hold it up.
So
if you're watching, if you can see from there, big kicktail.
So yeah, that's the tail, and of course in downhill you don't need tail, although now you're using all the blocks in the back. But yeah, in slalom that's typical that you put your foot right there at the tail. So yeah, to have it be able to move your feet way faster, accelerate faster, and especially in like tighter disciplines when you need to turn probably sometimes 4, 5, 6 times per second, like proper tight slalom. And yeah, it is important to have like ergonomic board. Then again, yeah, shouldn't be like too big and too heavy, so you can accelerate faster. Now I'm a big guy, so it usually takes time for me to gain speed. But when I do it, yeah, I'm unstoppable, I would say. But yeah, I still need to work on that, and yeah, probably this board will help me.
Well, for me in Australia, my, I guess, experience with slalom, the pinnacle of a board, of a setup that you could have is a Pavel. So I wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited. It's been so good to see the prototypes and have a look at the changes from the V1 to the V2. I'm really excited to see the final product when it comes out. I'm excited to see the graphic. I know we've spoken about that, but it's well deserved. I think everything, all your accolades, all your podium finishes, what you do for slalom, in my eyes, that's why you're so deserving of a pro model board and everything you do. So again, shout out Pavel, shout out Donald. Thanks to anyone who gets a Pavel board, but this one in particular, when it does drop, if you've enjoyed this podcast, if you've thought about getting into slalom skateboarding, support Gustavs. It is an incredible board. Do you have any other sponsors after Pavel?
At the moment, yeah, there's Urban Surfer, like Petr Mateusz. He has the slalom web shop.
Okay.
And yeah, he's trying to keep the slalom scene alive and in Europe all around. And yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of the list.
Yep.
Of course, Pavel Skates and of course 161. I'm using their trucks, and yeah, I'm still trying to adjust the proper angles.
Yep.
Because they're great in downhill, and I know they're great in slalom as well. So that's great all around truck. So yeah, that's where I ride for a moment.
You were flowed these trucks kindly.
Sorry?
You were flowed these trucks.
Yeah.
They hooked you up.
Yeah.
Shout out to 161.
Yeah, definitely.
I just, for anyone watching, I just think, as I said, as I've ramped on, and you probably haven't been a fan of me talking so highly of you throughout the podcast, just because I know what you're like as a person. But if Venom, Zach, if you're watching, like, you do great on Venom wheels. Call him, hook him up. 161. I want to see a Gustavs colorway. Any other slalom companies out there, reach out to Gustavs. He's the man. I know you don't want me saying this, but I just think any support goes a long way. Just from so far away, if anybody can help you get to events, provide you with gear, wheels. Wheels are so important. Yeah, just talk to Gustav, support him. He does so much. Where do you want to see, like, where do you see slalom? What do you think the future of slalom is?
Well,
Where do you think it's going?
hopefully it's going up because, of course, youth is more interested, I think, in board sports in general. Of course, we can talk about street skateboarding, park skateboarding being part of the Olympics. I think it kind of gives boost to all types of skateboarding.
Yep.
And now, well, COVID years are already in the past, so we can see that there is some interest from youth as well. We like to have, of course, more downhill guys joining because, as I said, 161 trucks, Rogue ZM1s, they're all great in slalom as well, in both downhill and slalom. Regarding wheels, Seismics, Venoms, pretty much also the same equipment. Just board-wise, you can easily do slalom course, on a downhill board like Mitch Thompson did yesterday.
Shout out Mitty.
Yeah, and he beat you out at top 6.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, probably not going to talk
It's
about
Mitty.
it. Yeah, it's Mitty, yeah, so it wasn't a big
Bro, I got
surprise.
7th. I'm stoked with 7th.
Yeah, so it's like quite stacked. Yeah, rider list. So, yeah. So, definitely, we would like to see, of course, more youth coming into the sport. And, hopefully we can grow internationally as well because now we have like more and more markets. We have like China joining as well. Their so-called 25 cone challenges. This ICA International Slalom Skateboarding is hosting. So that's like, we can call it like pretty much like online event. You just find a place where you can do it. There are rules how to set 25 cones. So it's rather simple. Doesn't take much space. And you just do it. You measure it by time. You send in the results. So you can just compare with other people online around the world. And next level after that is, of course, hosting like proper slalom event with starting ramps, announcers, music, and everything. And of course, what I'd like to see in future to have more slalom events in like city centers with people around because it could be like great spectator sport, like Italy showed, for example,
Right.
and a few other occasions. So I can see slalom to have a like bright future because in ladies we have a lot of up and coming stars. Same with the guys. So I'm kind of in slalom skateboarding. I'm not probably the oldest guy in general, but of course in sports in general, it's normal that there's up and coming people. So I'm kind of waiting for the youth to kick all our asses. Like me, Joe, Yanis, whatever. We want to see like new faces on podium, definitely.
Yeah. Wonderful. I hope the same. I think hosting more events in city centres, getting the spectators going. But whatever you want for the future of slalom is like the camps you put on, the events you hold, you're going to be a huge part of that. And I've said thank you time and time again, but really you're doing so much for slalom, and hopefully here, if people in slalom hear this story or even downhill, go host an event. It can be as small. I've spoken about it on the podcast so many and ideas for small events. Just go and do something, bring people together. I know sometimes things can get stagnant and you realize you haven't skated in a while, but just make an event. Just get people together at 1 hill, 5 hills, nighttime, daytime, just make an event. What's the perfect event?
Perfect event? Well, bunch of people from a bunch of countries. Everyone's having fun. It's hot, but not too hot. Not Australian hot. And everybody is having fun. Slalom-wise, of course, hopefully no timing issues that happen from time to time, of course. But that's the main thing. Challenging courses, no injuries. Everyone's happy. That's the perfect event, I guess.
I'm just going to shoot some fire questions off at you. Maybe things we've touched on, but what's your best moment in slalom? Number one moment?
Like number one moment?
Actually, save that. Let's talk about downhill. Best moment in downhill?
I would say I remember it was like less than 2 minutes probably, but Teolo Italy, the only round that I did, round of 64, just one run.
Yep.
I was second, then fourth, then third, ended up being third, but those like short minutes, the emotions that went through my body, I really understood. I want to bring this back home. I want to, we don't have big hills, still I want to host events, show people how fun skateboarding can be in different kind of disciplines. So that's definitely my highlight, that Teolo back in 2011.
Favorite downhill skateboarder? I know you got your eye on everything that's happening, more than I would have ever imagined. I want to hear from you, who is your favorite racer? Who's your favorite free rider? Put you on the spot here.
Well, I'm going to be subjective in a way. Of course, freerider, I would say probably Maxim Sokol, the French guy. He has visited actually Latvia as well.
Shout out Maxims.
Yeah. And yeah, it was cool seeing, because I didn't knew him before, and of course I'm following him online, and yeah, that's like one of the up and comers, and then yeah, see what youth can do. They are fearless.
Yep.
Something that probably I'm too old to do that kind of stuff, but yeah, that's great to see. Well, racer wise, of course, I'm in Australia. I need to say Harry Clark.
Yep.
And of course, as I said, like well, in Italy it was great just to at least stay in the same house as you guys, and of course Zach Mills and Mitch Thompson as well. So those guys who have done great international scene. I can of course, I get in a way a bit more personal. It's not like just seeing them on YouTube. You can just see them how they're acting. I don't know what they're eating even, like seeing all the like they're just people, but they're great people, and you can see the competitor factor in them. And it's like and then again, when Harry won, and in the evening we were just eating pizza, just seeing his like emotions and everything, and how in a way exhausted, then again how relieved he was. And it's like, it was super nice. I remember also before actually doing time trials, when they had time trial podium, and Harry unfortunately didn't make the podium. I was kind of asking, will we hear Australian national anthem this week? He said yes. So a few days later he won. So I already knew that before. So
get goosebumps hearing that, bro. Has is my dog for life. He represents get that to the highest extent. He is get that. Exactly the same with Zach Mills Goodwin, your favorite skater's favorite skater. He's so incredible no matter what he's doing. I don't even have the words. Mitty, good guy Mitty, such a beast. I'm hoping he can get to some big events this year, WDSC.
Yeah.
It's so nice hearing that, and you might just be saying it because you're in Australia, but I've got a feeling you're not, because they are such great downhill skaters. Before we wrap up, I'm going to get a little bit deep. I've heard this in other podcasts. I thought, like, how can I not do this in my own when I'm doing such an in-depth podcast with someone who is as, great as you are? But I'm going to call it like Triple H, wrestling reference right there. But I want you to tell me whatever comes to mind: hero, heartbreak, and highlight. You can get deep. You don't have to. But let's start with hero.
Well, of course, regarding skateboarding, definitely going to be my father, because he introduced this sport to me, and I got hooked, and I have still like a kind of skateboarding addiction, you could tell. And that's definitely him, because he has huge influence, not only in Latvia, but also international slalom scene, especially back in the day. And without him, definitely you wouldn't hear about such a country as Latvia and slalom. So that's something that I guess all the Latvian top guys can be also grateful. And heartbreak in racing. Well, there's so many, because of course I raced a lot, and usually they say the worst position is fourth or second or whatever, but usually it's when something like equipment malfunctions, stuff like that happens. So probably some of the crashes, like as I said, for example, the downhill crash, because I really was looking forward to do a trip to Maryhill. I would probably go there, of course, with slalom board back in the day. So that was the time when Zach Mayton was winning it with slalom board. So I would be probably definitely not winning it, but still being there with slalom board back in the day, like 12 years ago, would be quite impressive feeling. But unfortunately, due to my injury, I didn't make the trip. And the third H was
highlight. We've had hero, heartbreak, now highlight.
There are so many. It's of course most recent one. Well, I would say literally the most recent one, just the GS that we had at Pompey. It was such a long course, such exhausting. It's like 80 cones, but then again, the distance between the cones and the distance itself was like 54 point something. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I think that was the top time that I got. Oh, it was so exhausting. Although I'm like endurance guy, I like to run long distances and do stuff like that. Still, it was so exhausting. Plus, it was the hottest day, as I said, probably the have ever experienced. So doing that with skateboarding with great people around, it was great.
Love to hear that. See, world champion, but the highlight he says Australia for the GS. So if you're listening, come here next year. We'll put something on. I just wanted to say thank you for coming all this way. I've told you many times this week that your presence here is going to be something that is spoken about for a long time. I'm not afraid to say that. I feel like in slalom, we're going to always You're honorary Australian now. You're welcome here anytime. Everyone's been so happy to have you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for jumping on. I wanted to give you a gift before you take off because it's almost midnight. You fly out tomorrow. I got to go to work, but little gift for you. Figure out the size later, but get that shirt. I have to have you representing.
Thank you.
A little something here just because. Little Australia sticker. That's for you. I've also got a fat stack of Get That stickers. I can give you more,
Is
but
it Christmas yet?
just get them all around Latvia for me.
For the youth as well. We have a bunch of kids coming up. Of course,
Yep.
I really hope that they're going to try to do at least one trip abroad just to see the bigger picture in downhill. So, and slalom as well. So, thank you.
And one last thing that I can't wrap up this podcast. It's a slalom podcast. I spoke throughout the podcast. There's a lot of people, like without slalom, I wouldn't have become a downhill skater, I don't think. I reflect a lot on like the things, my experiences and where it took me and who knows. But yeah, back in the day I had, throughout most of my life now, I'm 31. I was going to slalom sessions at like 13, but I want to give a shout out while I have you on this platform and a lot of people watching. I want to give a shout out to people like Nathan Paff, Shadow, Paul Shaddock, Ryan Nichols, Neil Duddy, of course, all the great slalom skateboarders from Australia. Imi, shout out to Imi. Jackson Shapira as well, who's always been at the events, and always all these people I'm talking about are just always happy to give tips, to cheer you on, whatever. But it's been 4 years since we lost Glenn Mills, who was super tight to all the people that I just mentioned. He was there my whole time slalom skateboarding. He was one of the most stylish. He was one of the coolest dudes. And you might have seen on everyone's boards, everyone from Nakos. We've got a crew called Nakos, Newcastle and Central Coast Old School. And Shadow, Paf, all the dudes that I've mentioned. PC, I can't even forget about PC, who's been there since day one, an absolute OG. It was his first time leaving the country in Italy, and I'm so lucky to experience that with him and to share that with him. But Glenn Mills, we lost him 4 years ago, is super important to all of us. And everyone that was there was kind of, you could find somewhere on their board or their helmet or the shirt that they're wearing or on the back of their car a one-liner sticker. A one-liner was Glenn Mills's clothing company. He was a screen printer. And for the slalom events and the downhill events, he'd always just rock up with a box of T-shirts, flow them to anyone, flick him some cash. But yeah, Get That is like, I'm so proud of what Get That's done in downhill skateboarding. And I guess there's part of it where I saw Millsy making shirts, pulling up to the event with a box of shirts. And I feel like somewhere along the line, that's kind of what made me do Get That. And I just miss Millsy, and I got some one-liner stickers you can put on your board or your helmet. And this is as Australian as it gets.
Okay. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, brah. Before we wrap it up, any thank yous, any support you want to shout out?
Well, of course, thank you for everyone who skates in general, everyone who attends events, and of course, everyone who hosts events. Because, of course, in the end of the day, it's all our free time just to spend it, just to host great events, great venues, so people can meet new people, friendships, relationships, start maybe their own brands or whatever. And I know traveling costs money, and well, that's why, I have like several jobs and stuff, so that's why I look tired all the time. But that's something that I've chosen for me as my destiny in a way. So definitely recommend for everyone. Travel if it's possible. Figure out a way how to do it. There are great people all around that can host you. Just help out with accommodation, like guys in Australia. So see you all in next skate events hopefully soon.
Shout out to Latvia. I got Latvia's country T-shirt on. You have Australia's country national T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Shout out again you for coming, Pavel for supporting you, the whole family, all your sisters, Team Latvia. Shout out your wonderful partner for being home right now while you're here enjoying Australia. Come next time. Thank you to everyone who supports Get That Skate, watches the podcast, has listened this far. Shout out anyone who's willing to give slalom a go, or if you're already a slalom skateboarder, if you're putting on events. Thanks to everyone. I guess that's it. Thanks, Gustavs.
That's it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bruh.
It's been an honor. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Woo. 2 hours something, right? Shit. Oh, I was watching there. I didn't even.